Watcher of the skies, watcher of all. His is a world alone, no world is his own.
Since my dog died a few years ago, my gaze is only seldom turned towards the world. It's in the sky, between the drifting kingdoms of the clouds, that my eyes find comfort. The doctors diagnosed me with a mild form of autism spectrum disorder, but I don't care. I am who I am, and I am what I am. Took me half a lifetime to achieve this stance. And of all things, medical terms come last to change it. But I do have an extraordinary gift, that is rarely found with other people. I can see the movement of the clouds and time lapse with my naked eye alone. Hard to explain for sure, but it works. Must have something to do with my distorted sense of time. To me, the sky is like a cinema screen. Admission free. Epic dramas are featured, the rise and fall of empires and dynasties. Wildlife documentaries, thrillers, breathtaking underwater worlds. And road movies, cartoons even. I took to writing their narratives down in terms of genuine screenplays, so that at night, with the movie theater shut down, I might reread them when sleepless. An observer I am, collecting skies. And landscapes too, to some extent. For landscapes are the foundations of skies. One cannot do without the other. A sky without a landscape to me, is just an endless space. A landscape without its sky is none. But skies are the main subject of my researches. And it is comparative linguistics that I conduct, and by no means space research or meteorology. Because skies do talk, and in many different languages, that is. I mentioned the death of my four-legged friend, my best companion ever. And don't tell me autistic persons could not grieve. I don't know how grief feels with other folks, but all the better I know my own pain. Took me 2 full years to swallow my despair. Since then, I have been living alone and on my own. Which suits me fine, I don't miss other people. On the contrary. Other folks not only mean nothing to me, I despise them somehow. Probably they despise me too, or they can't work me out. My best friends now are the clouds. Clouds galore, friends galore. Clouds are forever, although forever changing. And since I firmly believe that my doggy boy is somewhere beyond there, watching the skies to me means being near him. You could say that half of me has already taken leave from this world. Which probably sounds melodramatic to neurotypical ears, but that's the way I see it. Why don't you just leave me be? I should mention another queer habit of mine. In order to render my mind fully open for the glorious impact of the skies, I sometimes visit the most somber and forbidding place I know in my area. In a forest not far from where I live, there is a well-known gorge. They call it Wolf's Gorge, a rather romanticizing name if you ask me. But indeed, it matches fine. The deep gulch is lined by almost perpendicular rock walls, so that even at midday its ground always remains shady and darkish, which adds to the somewhat gloomy and dismal atmosphere prevailing there. Wolf's Gorge is one of my favorite places in the area, and I'm in the habit of visiting it many times during all seasons of the year. They say, the inspiring name was invented in the 1890s by a local hotel keeper, who came forward with this sobriquet to attract more guests, which proved successful. Immediately after the turn of the century, the previously modest building was converted into a splendid grand hotel, whose heyday ended in the 1940s, in the aftermath of World War I and the ensuing economic crisis. But Wolf's Gorge survived, and for the better at that. On summer weekends, it can get quite crowded down there, with boy and girl scouts scurrying about in every nook and cranny. But quite the contrary on a rainy November Monday afternoon. This is when the mystery of Wolf's Gorge runs up to its top form. But let me first mention just a few details from the history of this oppressively narrow canyon. According to written records from old chronicles, iron or copper ores were extracted hereabouts as early as the Middle Ages. In the year 1486, a deep mine shaft or gallery is said to have caved in, giving this gorge its present shape. Historical tradition has it that back then several miners lost their lives. In other words, Wolf's Gorge is a man-made feature, although not really accomplished on purpose. And who knows, maybe somewhere deep in the underground, the remains of the workmen involved in the accident are still buried. Which of course adds to the gloominess of the place. Strolling through Wolf's Gorge to me is an exercise in preparation for long ensuing hours of skywatching. Per aspera ad astro, or, as I had better say, post tenebras lux. To prepare the soul for the radiant luminosity of the skies, it must be thoroughly dipped in darkness beforehand. In my own private taxonomy, I refer to this habit as dark shading the mindset. And I have a second option for this purpose too. Particularly in the summertime, when the glistening cumulus clouds rise up to their most splendid grandeur, Wolf's Gorge is usually overcrowded, which, besides the all too bright light simmering through the foliage, precludes the purpose of dark shading the mindset. In such cases, I fall back to the fortress of Furigen. This expansive military fortification was built inside a rock formation by the lakeside in the early 1940s, with World War II fully underway. It is perfectly camouflaged, nobody would ever suspect it being there at all. It's open to the public nowadays. Long dark passages were blasted into the solid rock, leading to hidden artillery stands, workshops, troop quarters, command headquarters, kitchen and hospital. These passageways are sparely lit so as to maintain the primordial atmosphere. The whole compound is a yawning abyss, excluding anything that reminds one of ease, comfort, human warmth and zest for life. A musty smell prevails at all times, and the temperature is always chilly. Who could imagine a tougher antithesis to the joyful gaiety, the rushing feast of the giant clouds on a summer sky? Ah, I love that place. It is with the greatest pleasure that I indulge in its cavernous morosity, while at the same time anticipating my soon-to-be reunion with the skies of bliss. Yes, an observer I am, collecting skies. But I also am a conductor, conducting the symphony orchestra of the clouds. My favorite pastime on bright Sunday afternoons. And what a fantastic bunch of musicians I lead. Somber woodwinds and glaring brass instruments in the rear, a celestial string section just in front of me. Blaring horns, announcing the day of judgment. Roaring kettle drums back there on my right. Golden harps, played by sun rays alone. Trombones blasting the fanfares of destiny. With my dancing baton I command the sharp cries of the trumpets, while urging restraint upon the strings. From the darkest abysses I bring my shining orchestra to the most glorious heights. It takes only minutes until I fully realize that all and every single of my orchestral musicians follow the beat of my stick. Of course, I am aware of the great responsibility I bear as the conductor of the skies. And nobody knows but me. So that I have to be careful to hide from the looks of the ignorant crowd. They just wouldn't understand. And the lack of their understanding could be dangerous, for me for sure, but also for my lucky bunch up there. Fortunately, I found means and ways to remain on the safe side. No, they won't have an easy job with the likes of us. The symphonic literature for cloud orchestras is ample. Concerts date back to eternity. Works range from solo recitals and chamber music to full symphonic orchestral performances. And I can distinguish many different musical styles and epochs, from medieval and Gregorian tunes, via the Baroque age and Romantic period, to impressionistic and thoroughly modern works. What a limitless wealth to choose from! Whereat the choice isn't mine, the program is set by the skies themselves. Which is no disadvantage at all, quite the contrary, I relish this element of surprise. Although I often experience that the works performed suit my daily form and inclination to an extent that can't be mere coincidence. There must be something more to it. The skies know my feelings and dispositions, and they adequately react to them. My lower moods are met with glorious multicolored chords and harmonies. In nervously agitated states of mind, I am served with soothingly quiet tunes. But when I feel like rooting up trees, splendidly festive fanfares are sounded to make me the most cheerful creature on earth. Oh, what a lucky man I am. And there's another precious advantage especially for me, as the one and only concert goer. I have the entire auditorium all for myself. And may do things others couldn't, because everybody would take offense. For instance, I can have my glass of scotch during the performance, and smoke a good cigar too. And as I have found out, puffs of cigar smoke are a means of communication with the clouds. As I have stated before, I am the conductor of the cloud orchestra. But sometimes I just want to lean back, relax and enjoy. In such cases, the odd hint with a few carefully chosen smoke signals will do to keep the band going. Occasionally, some of the younger members of my orchestra need tougher guidance. But with just a few heavier puffs, rhythmically blown in their direction, I get things back under my control. Now that you have made my acquaintance, I might entrust you with another two of my extraordinary gifts. One of them you may already have suspected by now. Indeed, I can clearly and explicitly hear the music of the clouds. My doctors call it auditory visual synesthesia, in my opinion a term all too crude to do justice to this superb phenomenon. To me, sometimes the sky becomes a bombastic church organ with innumerable registers, intoning melancholically swollen harmonies. The other gift isn't unique with me. Many people perceive defined shapes while watching the clouds. The shapes of animals, mostly, but also landscapes, mountain ranges or coastal sceneries. They call it pareidolia. But I dare say that in my case this gift is singularly pronounced. Studying the clouds I not only guess vague silhouettes, no, I can really see three-dimensional and sometimes colorful figures interacting with each other. That's what I meant when I talked about the sky as a cinema screen, or a theater stage. And I know that within this scenery other folks only perceive shapeless bubbles of white steam. Of course, science has a term in store for this phenomenon too, epiphania, which is defined as a symptom of schizophrenia. Am I, beyond being autistic, A schizophrenic too? Know what, I could care less about it. Terms, spiritless terms, as inane as only words can be. But you may now be able to guess what an enormous wealth of fascinating perceptions I experience while watching the sky. Oh, come on, don't tell me that you aren't a little bit envious of me. No matter, it's up to you anyway. As for me, I have no objections to share my universe. But let's have a look at the stage and watch the play going on. Ha-hoo, enter the humpy bear, sniffing the crisp blue air. An army of gnomes is cautiously retreating. How can the gray wolf dare to threaten the bear so recklessly? Ah, right behind him there's a T-Rex, rushing to his help. Now look at the little goblins, dancing on the opposite side of the stage. They seem to have escaped a swiftly moving mountain face, chasing them from behind. Well, if this has a good ending. But look, the humpy bear has turned into a distorted duckling ruffling its feathers. Needless to say that clouds are first-rate quick-change artists. But what the deuce could this grinning shark be up to? Amidst a scenery of foaming mountains and towering cities? Aha, he's after a shoal of crabs and starfishes. And he didn't even notice yet the giant lobster 10 times as big, persecuting him from behind. A clash of giants just ahead. But my goodness, Miss Piggy in person, what are you doing here? You're totally out of place, I'm afraid. With all these phantoms and chimeras lurking, this is definitely not your cup of tea. And we learn, the sky isn't always a peaceable kingdom. Not even in such good weather. A fluffy poodle balancing upside down appears, seemingly trying to prevent the worst. And indeed, his pranks give a funny turn to the threatening scene. And suddenly, rays of bright sunshine break through, announcing the end of the first act. Can you deny it? I definitely am one of the happiest men on the planet. But as usual, there are two sides to every coin. Being a man of the clouds, I do have one Achilles heel. Only one fortunately, but this is where you really can hurt me substantially. In fact, I fear nothing so much as an empty, cloudless sky for hours on end. And as shit happens, cloudless skies happen too. Last summer we had a high-pressure area that lasted for 10 days in a row. I'd nearly kicked the bucket. I can't remember ever to have been so depressed in my lifetime. But even this experience had its good sides. It taught me means to cope with the situation. And I am not talking about ways to bear it, no, I really found means to keep the clouds going in the sky. I don't care whether you believe it or not, as long as it works for me. And it does. Whenever the weather forecast announces a clear sky for a day or more, all I have to do is talking to the clouds, as long as they are still there. And literally talk them into staying. Not explicitly though, I just need to keep my conversation going and talk to them constantly, continuously, incessantly, tirelessly all the time. And remain they do. Of course it gives me an exhausting time, but letting them go would be an even greater evil. No pain, no gain, and better some of a pudding than none of a pie, I say. Did I just talk my worst case scenario into happening? Hey you up there, my faithful friends, what is it out there in the far west? No. You stay here. Not a chance, I'll get you as usual, for by means of my filibuster I always got the better of you. Now listen carefully my sweeties, for Uncle Payne has a long story to tell you and doesn't give a damn whether you follow it or not, as long as you keep listening, and listen you will even if I talk nonsense. It's the talking that keeps me staying ahead of the game, and a serious game it is, at least for myself, and if life has taught me one thing it is looking after myself in case of need. In such a case we now have in front of us my minis, who don't know a bird from a model airplane while making your way through time and space, and on top of that poetically gifted watchers call these ways majestic while you simply can't do otherwise, cause it's the only trick you can play right then. Keep on playing, play your songs for me, little brother is watching you and carefully listening too. Boo haha, did I get you? Well then, hen of the universe, cluck cluck, awkwardly staggering from left to right. Bright is your feather dress, yes, but all too short your lifespan. In van of the long throng you may be now, but wow, only minutes later you're done and gone, as is the fate early or late of all this foaming roaming beneath the heavens. For heaven's sake, snake, doomed be thy name, lame be thy gate, straight go to hell. I yell not you to me to see that the celestial stage not only gives plays of peace, love and harmony way off the mark. Dark are many creatures staged by his lordship the honorable and high-born theater manager by the name of Sky High. There by the way I say nay, how dare you not to care. Take care of me as you can see, thy humble servant and admirer, who hangs on the drip tip of your benevolence and thereby bestows power on you, which doing you should esteem thoroughly, truly far from the